There is something strange that happens during the hardest seasons of your life. You are exhausted. You are overwhelmed. Everything feels uncertain and heavy and impossible. But somewhere underneath all of that, there is a feeling you cannot explain, a sharpness, a clarity, a sense that you are more present in this moment than you have been in years, like your senses are heightened, like everything means more, like you are finally, truly awake. And when the season passes and life goes back to normal, you sometimes find yourself missing it, not the pain, but that feeling, that aliveness, and you feel guilty for missing it because who misses hard times? But you are not missing the suffering. You are missing the version of yourself that showed up inside it. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and what they found is both surprising and deeply human. When we face adversity, our brain releases a cocktail of neurochemicals, including norepinephrine and cortisol, that sharpen our focus, heighten our senses, and pull us completely into the present moment. Dr. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Holocaust and wrote Man's Search for Meaning, said that everything can be taken from a person except the freedom to choose how they respond to any given situation. He noticed that the people who found meaning inside suffering were the ones who not only survived, but felt most connected to life itself during those impossible seasons. Suffering does not create aliveness, but the way you rise inside suffering does. Think about the hardest season you have ever lived through. Maybe it was a loss that broke you open, a period of being completely alone, a financial collapse, a health scare, a relationship ending that felt like losing a piece of your own identity. In the middle of it, everything was stripped away. The noise of ordinary life went quiet. The things that used to feel urgent stopped mattering. And what was left was just you, raw and real and present in a way that comfort never asks you to be. Comfort lets you sleepwalk. Crisis wakes you up. And in that waking, there is a kind of aliveness that peaceful seasons rarely produce. There is a psychological concept called post-traumatic growth. Research by psychologists Richard Tedeschi and Lawrence Calhoun found that a significant number of people who experienced serious adversity reported positive psychological change as a result, not despite the hardship, but because of how they were forced to engage with life inside it. They discovered new strength they did not know they had. Relationships deepened. Priorities became crystal clear. A sense of meaning and purpose emerged that was never there before. The hard season did not break them permanently. It rebuilt them into something more real, more grounded, more alive than the version of themselves that existed before the storm arrived. Here is what nobody tells you about the quiet, comfortable seasons of life. They are beautiful, but they can also make you disappear into routine, into autopilot, into a version of living that looks fine from the outside but feels hollow from the inside. You stop asking the big questions. You stop pushing. You stop feeling the edges of yourself because nothing is pressing against them. But adversity presses. It forces you to find out what you are actually made of. It asks you questions that comfort never thinks to ask. Who are you when everything is taken away? What actually matters to you? How strong are you really? And the answers to those questions are where your most alive self lives. The hard seasons are not interruptions to your life. They are the moments your life becomes most real. You are allowed to acknowledge that something inside you comes alive in the fire. That is not masochism. That is not dysfunction. That is the most human thing about you. You were not built for a life without resistance. You were built to grow through it. And every hard season you have survived has left something behind, a layer of strength, a depth of character, a quiet confidence that only comes from having been tested and having made it through. So if you are in a hard season right now, do not just try to survive it. Pay attention inside it, because somewhere in the middle of what is breaking you, something extraordinary is being built. And one day you will look back on this season and realize it was one of the ones that made you feel most alive.